In the morning.
What's up, everybody? KG here with an exciting live stream podcast tonight on the crypto journey. We have an amazing guest backstage. You already know this man. He doesn't even need an introduction. Today, we are going to prepare ourselves for the launch of Xen Crypto tomorrow. We're about 16 hours away from launch. We're not going to deep dive into all the tokenomics. We might, but the intention of this stream is to prepare ourselves in game theory into how we're going to handle launch day. If you want the deep dive into all the tokenomics, if we do not cover it in the stream, I have a link in the description. And Jack has been out there. A lot of amazing content he's been providing. So I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to introduce my friend, Mr. Jack Levin.
Hey, KG. How's it going? Glad to be here.
It's going good, my friend. How are you?
Thanks for inviting me again.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks for coming on. I was telling Jack this backstage, and this is something that I wanted to say to you. Today's a big day for you, and tomorrow's an even bigger day. It's the launch of your crypto, Xen. And everybody who's here in this room right now, who's going to be a part of this, in my opinion, is going to be a part of history. It's the first token of its kind that I'm aware of. And you, the founder of this ideal currency, are a player in the game, just like everybody else involved. No special powers, no special rules that apply to you. You're just a player on the level. I think it's a very cool moment in history, and I'm honored to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, we're so excited with the team here in California. It is, I would say, what makes it so truly exciting is that we're making something out of nothing. And it's not just one particular individual or a team that's pushing a return key or an enter button to mint a quadrillion tokens or a trillion tokens. It's actually the community that will bring the crypto to the world, really, for themselves and for everyone else out there. And that is super interesting. And I can't wait to see how it's going to play out tomorrow.
Me either. I'm actually really excited. I've seen you doing the tour. I've seen all these tutorial videos. I've seen all these mint strategy videos. I mean, I think this is something that the community is really excited about. And actually, speaking of community, if anybody wants to hop on stream, there will be a point where we bring people on to ask questions. You're welcome to drop your questions in the comments. We'll get to them. But if you want to come on and discuss game theory with us, you're welcome to. Shoot me a DM on Twitter. My link is in the description, brother KDG. We'll get you on stream. Let's say what's up to chat here. Don Montoya, really excited about the stream. I'm having paralysis by analysis. Please tell me what to do. Part of why we're doing this. DJ Pollywood, how's it going? Gob is washing hands. What's up? Crypto Artie, Godfather, Hex Fetty, Flat Earth Underground, hello. Blue Bum, welcome in, brother. So Jack, if you're open to it, please give everybody a quick rundown. What is Xen? What are you doing? What's the philosophy?
So it appears to be complicated, but at the same time, it's really going back to basics. 12 years ago, Bitcoin was unleashed as a piece of code onto the world. There wasn't a lot of code. I actually looked at it. I compiled it. I ran it on my laptop. It was super fun. I didn't know at the time what would happen with it, whether it's going to have any value. And it took, I would say, more than 5 or 6 years for the real community to develop around Bitcoin. And since that launch, I haven't really seen projects that launched in a similar way, where an asset was worth $0 and it didn't exist, and the community literally brought it into being. And so today, I feel like, we're 2022, so 12 years later, right? 12 years later, we have an opportunity to launch something that could be done in a very similar way, but we actually have the tools. We understand what crypto is. We have liquidity capability with Uniswap and Dexes, and there's SushiSwap. There's cross-chain swapping that you can also do. There are stable coins. Things are better understood. Security is better understood overall. And so when Bitcoin launched, there was maybe 200 people in the cypherpunk community that kind of knew how to run it. And so they were minting and mining this free bunch of numbers for themselves. Didn't know what to do with it. But ultimately what that created the concentration of the asset, which we know of today as BTC. And so what we're trying to do here with Xen, we're trying to make it a fair launch, where we announced the project a month before. Literally 30 days ago, we announced it. And then we have a countdown 7 days before the launch. And then we have lots and lots of educational videos produced, lots of educational materials through the websites and through places like Zenpedia. And we have Xen Crypto.io is a great website. Lots and lots of streams with different people talking and describing what exactly is Xen. And so I think Xen is an act 2 for cryptocurrency that's fair. And when I say fair, everybody gets an equal chance to start it, to bring something new into the world from the very beginning. So tomorrow, when we, I guess, push the button and deploy everything and hope for the best, anybody with a MetaMask wallet or any sort of Ethereum wallet will be able to pay a little bit of gas, start the minting process for themselves, specify the number of days they're willing to wait for, and engage with the protocol that we call proof of participation. That actually is a very simple formula. It has the time-based difficulty that ticks down every day. So there's a number 3,000 that gets multiplied to get your rewards, to get your Xen minted. And if you join at a later date, you can still join, obviously, and make a lot of Xen for yourself. But the protocol technically will run out of the inflationary capacity by 3,000 days, which is about 8 years and 3 months. Afterwards, the inflation rate will settle at 2%. And that does not guarantee that the total supply will inflate 2%, because it's only will be inflating through staking. And perhaps if 30% or 40% of people stake Xen to make that 2%, which we'll have no idea if they will, then there will be more Xen paid for staking. When you stake Xen, it will be burned, similar to how Hex is burned. And the reason for that was just simply security. Like, we didn't want the token to sit around in some sort of a contract or have some sort of restrictions. You stake Xen and you stake it for the APY. The APY starts at 20% and declines every 90 days by 1% until it settles at 2% in about 4 years. After 8 years, the minting function pretty much descends into oblivion. Today at the start, you can technically mint 30 to 40,000 Xen per day. By the end of the 8-year period, it's going to be about 10 to 15, and no more than that. So it becomes extremely disinflationary over a period of time. And that's actually is we could address this question: does Zen have a cap? And what is a cap? Right, a cap is when everything turns off and nothing is ever is produced. Now, in the world, technically, nothing really has a cap. I mean, you could argue that gold has a cap, but you can still find more gold if you dig harder.
Sure.
And so what gives Zen value is not that whether it has cap or it doesn't have a cap. What gives Zen value is the engaged community that's minting this new crypto out for the world, as well as the difference of community engagement versus the total capacity to mint. So when the capacity to mint is reduced, but the engagement remains the same or greater, you actually get an increase in value. And in that particular case, the cap actually does not play a role so much, because if the inflationary curve becomes flat, almost flat, just sits at 2%, and likely in reality it's going to be 0.05% or something like that, because not everybody's going to be staking. We will reach a natural cap where there simply wouldn't be enough Zen produced by any means through the contract. So that's kind of how what I think about the cap itself. But yeah, I mean, would love to dive deeper into the genesis and what we're doing tomorrow. And so any questions you guys have from the comments, by all means, ask them.
And so just to clarify, what you were speaking to there was the minting, not the staking, or does the staking rewards also become disinflationary over time?
Staking rewards start at 20% APY, drop by 1% every 90 days.
Gotcha.
In about 4 years and a few months, it becomes exactly 2%. So 20% becomes 2%. That's staking. And that's not even the minting part. So staking is completely separated from minting. You can mint and stake at the same time. For example, tomorrow you can, for the first time, click on the mint button, specify let's say a week or 10 days or 30 days or 90 days or 100 days. That would be the max. And then once you finish your minting period, you get your Zen. You can stake it with one transaction. You can mint and stake, and Zen will actually not even go to your wallet. It will immediately transfer to the stake function and start earning interest. So that's how that works. And once you've done that, you can use the same wallet to start minting again. So your wallet can be staking and minting at the same time in parallel. That's kind of interesting too. So one way to think about it is with your secure wallets, obviously, you're becoming a virtual miner of this new cryptocurrency. You're extending your wallet's capability into the smart contract. You own the keys. You can stop it at any time. And by the way, staking has no penalties of any kind. So the maximum number of days for staking is 1,000 days. So if you stake early, you can literally lock in 20 to 19% interest rate towards the end. So it is highly recommended, if you're interested in staking, is to stake for as long as possible and get the best APY you can possibly get in the beginning, which is going to be the first 6 months from the genesis. So that's the ideal situation. So it's kind of like getting a mortgage. So 6 months ago you could have locked in 2.5% or maybe 3%. Now you're out of luck. So the mortgage is now more expensive, but in this particular case, staking is in reverse. So you're getting the best yield possible in the beginning, and then it ticks down almost to, exactly 2% after 4 years.
Okay, and I do have another question, but real quick, I want to shout out Crypto Artie for the super chat. Thank you. Truly appreciated. And Thrilly Donka, he or she, thank you for the super chat as well. I'm going to go ahead and get to their question real quick. Can you touch on the reward claim window in the context of how a day is calculated in the system? This may be news to some. Also, does this same mechanic apply to staking days?
So that's actually pretty simple. As soon as you click mint button and sign the transaction with MetaMask or any wallet of your choice, that is when your timer starts. So the timestamp is in seconds and it belongs to you. So that is the definition of a day. So a day is 24 hours and multiplied by 60 minutes multiplied by 60 seconds. and it is done in seconds. So if you're minting for 1 day, it is exactly that. So you can start at 11 a.m. in the morning, and then after 11 a.m. next morning, you're ready to claim. And then you have a day to claim penalty free, and then penalties will actually start accumulating. So you have 7 days to claim your mint, or actually to mint and make Zen for yourself. If you don't do it, then it will disappear eventually over the period of 7 days.
So how soon, like, is it 1 minute after the penalties accrue, or what was the window?
There's 24 hours period where you can claim without any penalties.
Okay. And you said something when you were speaking a moment ago, and I wanted to ask, you said that you can mint and stake at the same time. How is that possible?
Okay, so there's two ways to do it. Let's say that you're buying Zen Uniswap. So you convert your Ether to let's say 1000 Zen. And so now in your wallet you have a little bit of Ether and you have some Zen. You go to interact with the contract. You go to the web app that will run on Zen.network. And in there you can execute your stake because you already have Zen. Like it's in your wallet, so you can stake it right there without any issues. And should you decide, which you probably should do if you're willing to pay the gas, you can start minting and specify a minting period. So assuming you have Zen prior, you can execute both staking and minting function concurrently from the same wallet.
Okay, so you're saying in order to accomplish this, you actually physically have to go buy Zen. You can't do it with a wallet that is currently minting.
The wallet that's currently minting does not have any Zen.
Right.
If you didn't buy it prior.
Right.
Which means you cannot stake it, and you cannot mint twice from the same wallet while the wallet is minting. So you can also do it this way. You can start your mint, and now you're in your minting period. Let's say it's 100 days, and you're on your day 50. So you have 50 days to go. Then you decide to go to Uniswap and buy more Zen, just because you want to, or somebody sends it to you. You can take that new Zen that you received and just stake it. So the minting process is not interrupted by staking at all. It's completely separate transactions.
Very cool. That's very cool. And actually, I'm still refining my launch day plan, but I think part of my plan is, I'm scared to say this, but maybe other people are already thinking it. I kind of want to do some really short mint phases because I do want to have some liquids in. Maybe I want to do some liquidity providing. Maybe I want to have some to sell. Maybe I want to have some to move around.
Yeah,
So
I would definitely encourage to experiment. So just get some low number of days. You can do 1 day, you can do 2 days. I mean, on a weekend it should cost $2 in gas, because the gas fees are really minimal for the developers out there. It's 175,000 gas, and you can plug in that number in a gas calculator, and roughly at 5 Gwei, it will cost you just a little bit less than $2 to execute your mint.
Okay, it really is reasonable, all things considered. And to clarify, you are launching on Ethereum only on day one.
We're launching on Ethereum, and assuming everything goes well, we may push to other chains too, but only if Ethereum looks stable to us.
Okay, and I want to give a quick shout out. We got 79 people in here right now. I'm feeling very good about that. This is the most viewed active live stream I've had. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is awesome. I'm very excited, very honored right now. Just had to give that quick shout out. Let's jump into the comments. Let's get some questions going. We have a lot coming in. Again, if you want to jump on stream and ask some questions, message me on Twitter. Twitter's in the description. This is a community chat. We are open to have somebody come on, ask some questions. Sandy Beach, hello. Enrique, hello. KG, You don't have the link? Yeah, apologies. I dropped the Twitter there, but it's Xen.network. Looking forward to mint. Max Payne, good luck with launch. Jack, excited to witness the birth of Xen, myself included. Hello, Sir Edwards. Nicole, hello. The design of the creation, declining inflation, and participation is beautiful. Well designed, Jack.
Thank you.
I'm just going to shill internet money, wallet, and Xen. Hey, I appreciate that. How much can be minted?
How much can be minted? That depends how much money you have for gas. So there's really no upper bound. If you're willing to burn, which actually half of your gas fees will be burned, if you're willing to burn $100,000 or $1 million, you can make a lot of Xen. However, it is very risky because Ethereum transaction speed is only 15 per second. And those blocks, they're not really, very accommodating to an influx of transactions. So you may actually, if you decide to go with 1,000 wallets and try to run them within half an hour or an hour, you will be paying 5x, 6x, 7x per transaction just because you're going to be competing with the rest of the network and jamming your transactions into those blocks. So be very careful when you do it, or if you decide to do it. For the developers out there or people who understand how the gas limit works, do play with the gas limit just to make sure it doesn't run away from you. But to specifically to answer that question is that there's no limit to the number of wallets that you can connect to the protocol. Assuming you can find gas and pay for it, then there's no limit. However, there is an implied limit because, either DAOs cost dollars, right? You can convert it to USDC or any stable coin out there. And mentally, you need to understand what kind of arbitrage game you're playing. Like, are you really thinking that $1 million, well, I'm not going to say wasted, but spent on gas is going to yield $2 million 100 days later? I'm not actually certain. That may or may not be the case, but who knows?
Sure.
And also, if you have the biggest bag of Xen early, you're going to have to wait a while for the liquidity to come up. Remember, we're starting at zero. No one has any Xen. If you're the only person with Xen, who are you going to sell it to? So if you're planning to sell it, if you're planning to hold it, then by all means you can do it. But remember, that gas isn't coming back to you.
Sure. And a question that we actually got before the stream even started, I think I understood what he's saying, but please help me understand why the ranking continues to change each and every time you change your wallet. You already logged in with that same wallet and address.
So I'm not sure what that person means by ranking. There's two types of ranking that we track. There's the global rank, which is the total number of people ever to connect to the Xen protocol. That's one. And the number two that is never ever to be changed is your C rank. That is your position within the queue to accumulate Xen. And that's how the formula is used, is to compute the difference between the global rank and your C rank. And if the difference is really large, you get the most rewards. And so if you're changing your wallet and you're attaching different wallet address and you're minting Xen from different addresses, your C rank will be different, obviously, because you cannot share the same C rank. It only belongs to one wallet. Now, the global rank can be changing. It can be very volatile. 100 people could come in 5 minutes and append 100 to the global rank. And so you'll see it's changing right in front of your eyes. That's actually is a good thing. The more people come, and that's how the protocol works. It has the virality and the social engagement built into it, where the whole community gets rewarded should they bring more people to participate in the Xen protocol. So if you invite people in and they invite their friends, and you're minting it at that time, you actually would be minting a lot more Xen than otherwise if only a few people would join.
Okay, I actually have a C rank question myself. So if I mint and I claim my C rank, not physically claim it with the button, but claim it by nature of being in that position, when my mint phase ends, do I hold the same C rank, or do I get a new C rank at the time that I mint again?
At the time of the maturity for your mint, on the day you give up your C rank, it goes back
Interesting.
into, I mean, like literally that transaction will be completed, or that record will be completed. So the ledger will record your wallet coming in 100 days ago, claiming, let's say, C rank 1,500, and then exiting at, let's say, global rank 5,000. And at that point, Zen will be created and minted for you. And that's the end of the transaction. So there's two halves. I mean, technically there's two transactions, but you're coming into the protocol and you have to come out. If you don't come out, you will still be reported as actively minting, but all of your rewards will be gone and you won't be accumulating any more Zen.
Okay, so let's just, for all intents and purposes, I'm C rank 5. My
Yep.
mint ends. Person in C rank 6 isn't dropping down to 5. They're still
Definitely
holding
not.
6.
No. The new people that come in will always be matched with the global rank, and that's how they get their C rank. So anybody who is
Gotcha.
coming in at the global rank of 5,000 is going to be 5,001 for the C rank.
Understood.
And C rank is the
Understood.
crypto rank.
Okay. So let's see. We have another question here. Can one address have multiple stakes?
It cannot have multiple stakes. I was going to say unfortunately, but we really wanted to make the code simple, and we wanted to release it as fast as we can possibly can, so that we can, well, give it to the people as fast as we can. And we didn't want to have a very complicated staking function. And by the way, I mean, you can have multiple wallets doing multiple stakes and doing all kind of ladders if you want, but ideally you shouldn't do it, because unlike Hex, where there's penalties for emergency on stake, Zen doesn't have that. So choosing the longest possible staking period and then changing your mind a month later or a week later does not, your Zen will not incur any penalties at all. You'll just lose your APY, but you haven't waited long enough anyway. So it doesn't it doesn't get accumulated daily or monthly. It just gets paid all the way at the end at maturity date. So if one day before the maturity date you decide to unstake, you're going to lose all of your APY, but you're going to get all of your principal. So it's super simple. And just to give you an idea, if you have 1,000 Zen and you stake it in the beginning for 1,000 days, because it's almost 3 years and it's 20% yield, you will be yielding to yourself about 57%. So 1,000 Zen becomes 1,570. So assuming you can wait that long.
And you said that was for 1,000 days.
1,000 days. 1,000 days is roughly 3 years, and actually it's a little bit less than 3 years. It's like maybe 2 years and 10 months. And so if it was exactly 3 years, then you would have been getting 60%, because 20% every year. So it's an APY per year, right? PY is per year. In this particular case, 57 is just shy of 60. But that's kind of like the rough number to think about.
Okay. CL or I can't tell. The first 5,000 wallets can only stake 100 days. What's the limit for the 5,001 plus?
The limit gets expanded to 285 days, and it becomes a sliding limit where the more people join, it will eventually get above 400 pretty quick, and then it's probably going to settle at about 500. I need to double check actually, but it's going to be much longer than 100 days. The reason why we chose 100 days for the first 5,000 wallets is because we wanted to force people to receive Zen, and so that we would have liquidity. So like, what if we had like 600 days or 500 days from the get-go? Then a lot of people would be selecting their minting period for all of that time, because it's so inexpensive. It's $2 to get in, right? But then we wouldn't have the liquidity, and we really want people to play with it. And so in 100 days, which is, I guess, 3 months and 10 days, or anywhere under, you get to get your Zen, and you can either sell it, give it to your friends, you can stake it. So we really wanted to get the full action and exploration of the Zen protocol to be done within the next 3 months, or a little bit after 3 months.
Okay. And I like where HexFetty's head's at. Need multiple wallets. So even more Internet Money Wallet downloads. Until then, MetaMask. I like it. One day soon. One day soon.
Yeah.
So Raymond says, should we mint with our current MetaMask account or start a new account? I'm happy to take this one unless you would like to.
I mean, sure, you can take it.
Okay, so in crypto, it's best crypto practices to use a fresh MetaMask seed when you're interacting with things that you may or may not know, or you may not know to be safe. Jack did have a security audit on Xen, which he posted in the Xen Telegram room, and the audit came back, in my opinion, favorable. So in this particular case, I think that it is relatively low risk connecting a MetaMask that you use on a normal basis. But in good crypto practices, if you're unsure, this is not advice, this is just one guy's opinion on the internet, I think it's best if you are uncomfortable to always make a fresh seed when interacting with contracts you're unsure of.
Yes, and speaking of security, do try to make the seed phrase 24 words. It just makes sense to do it, especially if the money you're storing there is dear to you. It is possible to expose 10 words from the 12-word seed, and it will take somebody just literally a little bit over a day to break it. If they glimpse 80% of your content on your seed phrase. The other good idea is that if you do go for the 24 words, create what they call mnemonic cards. And there's usually, people use 3 of them, where each card has non-interlapping words removed, and they put X's in there. And so that you can give 2 of the mnemonic cards to your trusted friends. They will not have the full seed phrase for you. And it will take, I think, like, 500,000 years to break it, should anybody get a hold of them. Because 8 words are missing, and 8 words are missing from 24 is impossible to guess. And so now you have this seed phrase split into 3 different cards. So you can give one to your mom, and she puts it in whatever, her safe, and then you keep it, one of them in your desk, and then the third one you can put in a safety deposit box or whatever, or give it to another friend. And then when you need to recover your wallet, you can just call those people up, and they will read off the words that are missing, so that you can recover your phrase completely, assuming you lost your password. So that is one of the most secure ways to manage 24 seed phrases, 24 word seed phrases.
That is an interesting method to do that. And actually, I completely second the 24 word seed phrase. It's actually something we're doing in the Internet Money Wallet, is it generates 24 word seeds, increased entropy. I saw the number for possible combinations of a 24 word seed phrase. It's a number I don't even know if there's a word for.
It's bigger than Google.
It's crazy. But my question, little off topic about Xen, is just about seed phrases. There is mathematically the possibility that you generate the same seed phrase that's already been generated. It might be astronomical, but the possibility does exist.
It only exists on the Joe Rogan show when they talk about quantum worlds. So, if I had a quantum computer, I would be able to run seed generators in like a million parallel worlds. And so my compute power would technically be infinite, and there would be a match. So Joe Rogan is very fond of saying that in the multiverse, there is an exact copy of you doing exact same thing on a very, very similar planet that is like 99.999 to infinity is exactly the same. Now he talks about infinity, or been talking about infinity in or infinite possibilities in that show. I actually don't believe that to be the case. I think the laws of physics kind of like don't really work that way. You can have multiple worlds with different laws of physics potentially, like the bubble universes and the baby universes colliding, creating new ones. But within the same universe, it is unlikely that somebody will be able to create exact same combination of letters randomly. Like it is pretty much impossible. Just like the quantum physics effect, like the electrons that spinning and producing the randomness and entropy, impossible. It is impossible to create. Like that would be like waiting for the sun to burn out. That would be like how long you have to wait to potentially see that, or maybe like the whole universe needs to end. So that's why I say that if you had a quantum computer, you could tap into the worlds and universes that could give you infinite power, and then you can run a quantum cracker and actually guess the C word. So I can't wait until we launch the new protocol based on quantum blockchain.
Quantum chain.
Quantum chain, Q chain. You heard it first here. We're gonna do it.
I'll hit you up after the show. Let's begin brainstorming. That's that I do want to stay focused on Zen. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but it's, the funny thing is, you said impossible, kind of. So it's improbable, not impossible, but just as likely as a quantum computer could go in and it would calculate, it would take a quantum computer to calculate. That would be like a directed calculation. Just so much as somebody could walk in off the street, walk in, type in 24 random words, and it could be Vitalik's wallet. It's just complete. I mean, mathematically speaking, that is a possibility. Likely, not, but possible, sure.
Everything is possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're getting quantum, of course, but still, it's
just very improbable.
Exactly, very improbable.
And it's very improbable it's going to be Vitalik's wallet. It could be like a wallet that's some 12-year-old created with
Sure.
with like $1 in it.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Or somebody used as a dummy wallet, and it's like, cool, I got a random seed, but it's
yeah.
I got you. Yeah, no, interesting thought experiment though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going here. So I was going to ask, so I can use the same address to mint again once my previous mint claim is done.
That's exactly right. So the protocol will stop you from minting again until your first mint is consummated, so to speak.
What is the token data to add Xen token to our wallet? Do you mean the contract address? I think
it will be, I don't even know it because it hasn't been generated yet. So it's going to be generated tomorrow after 10:15 a.m. Pacific daytime.
Okay.
And then we will know, and then we'll post it up on the website, and we'll probably broadcast it from all of our available social media channels.
And I'm sure I won't be the only one, but I will be streaming live tomorrow, building up to the countdown of Xen. So I'll share it on live stream. I'll be watching the timer. I'll be minting live. Not from all my wallets. Don't think you guys are going to know who KG is out there, but we're going to be covering it live tomorrow. So
awesome.
Oh, I'll even click the next one. Okay, I thought you were going to say something. When people don't claim their Xen before 7 days, what happens to the amplifiers produced for others? Does it get removed from everyone's wallet, or does it not affect them? Thanks.
Nothing affects anybody else. So whatever happens to you only happens to you. So when you don't claim within 7 days, I think the person means to say what happens to the unminted Xen. I think that is the question. So unlike hacks, that where 50% goes to OA, another 50 goes to the rest of the minters or stakers. Nothing happens here. It just doesn't get created.
Oh, interesting.
Well, I mean, like, there's no point. I mean, this is your own personal digital wallet. The only thing that's affecting you is the incoming flow of the new users. If there's a large flow, then you're making more. If there's very little flow, then you're not minting a lot. But at the end, it is your operation, nobody else's, and you don't give up anything to anyone else, no matter what you do.
Okay. So, and just to confirm, that 7-day diminishment of the rewards is not principal diminishment. It's only the interest being diminished.
7 days only applies to minting. Staking does not have interest or anything like
Understood.
that. So 7 days penalty is only when you mint. When you stake, you can wait for 5 years and unstake without penalties. There's no penalties for getting your stakes.
So on the stake, it just stays there until you decide to remint back into existence.
Yeah, it's just gonna stop the APY accumulation, and it will wait for you to unstake it. It's kind of like a safety deposit box, and you agree to a contract to do it for that many days, and those days are limited. So it isn't gonna be infinitely locking you in 20%. That's why I say that getting into staking early really makes sense, because you will never get the chance again. The APY will drop to 2% after 4 years, and there's no way you can get the same level of staking as early as you could earlier. So that's part of the game mechanics and game theory, is that number one, you have several options. You can buy Xen on open market, but you may end up overpaying. You can use a single wallet, or you can use multiple wallets, and you can use a lot of wallets and spend a lot of gas. But then you make a lot of Xen for yourself. You can consolidate it in a single wallet, and with one transaction, stake the whole sum of Xen for almost 3 years at 20% or 19%. And that is the best outcome for anybody who wants to just have a giant position in Xen. The problem with that is that you don't hold it in your wallet. It's locked in. So it isn't part of the liquid supply in any way. I mean, you can unstake it, but you're not going to get the APY. But you're not going to get the chance to get the same APY ever again.
Okay. And let's see here. We have, what's up, KG? Hello. Will there be a countdown timer on website for stakes, or just some way in general to track how long my stake has left? Anything like that?
Yeah, so part of the web interface, it will actually shows you the number of days you have left. And I think we're going to add a function where you can click in and get a link for a calendar. So the calendar will pop up and it will tell you that's your stake maturity date, or that's your mint maturity date. Don't forget it. Come back to it because it's waiting for you.
Wait, you're saying it's going to put it into your calendar?
Well, I don't see why not. I mean, there's a very simple way to do it. Just click on a link that's presented by a dash, and then it will plug it in into the calendar. Like, why wouldn't it do it? I mean,
Dude, that's cool.
So simple to get that done. I mean, it's a standard API to Google Calendar or Apple, MacBook Calendar, whatever you want. I mean, it's not going to be the web calendar. It's going to be your own calendar that's probably synchronized on your iPhone and your laptop.
Sure. That's really cool. And what's up, 100 viewers? Let's go. We continue to hit new all-time highs on the stream. Jack Levin pulls the crowd. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining.
Let's go.
So you choose how long to mint when you claim.
You choose how long to mint when you claim your C rank. Absolutely. That is what is asked of you, is to give the number in days.
Crypto class, can Jack please give us his strategy? Hey, I'm also curious if you want to share what's the Jack Levin Xen strategy.
Okay, so I am definitely I will be there when the contract is deployed. I am not going to be the first transaction. And I can promise that, because it totally doesn't make sense for a fair crypto to be launched and then somebody taking the first 100 ranks or whatever C ranks, especially the founder. So I'm going to wait for maybe 24 hours and then participate. but I really want everybody else to get the early C ranks and, have bragging rights to first 500 or first 1,000 or even first 5,000. And maybe somebody will make an NFT to, commemorate the early C ranks, and maybe those NFTs could be, traded on OpenSea at some point. It's going to be really cool. But it's not going to be me, because I want it to be fair. And so my strategy overall, because I don't have any Zen right now and there's no supply, I would probably do more than several wallets. And I will initially mint for a few hundred days. And then when the limit opens up to 285 days, I will always choose the maximum number of days. Always. Because that is when you get to mint the most Zen. After the maturity, so after 285 days, I will always stake for as long as I can to get the best APY. And by the way, if you're minting for 285 days, how many periods of 90 days is it? So it's 90, 90, and 90. So 3 times 9 is 270, right? So that means that my best APY after 285 days is going to be 17%. So 17% is the best I can get, because 285 days for minting is the best multiplier you can get. It's better to have longer mintable days or minting days and then lose 1% in APY, because you will definitely lock in 15 to 20% more than if you just wait longer. So minting will always pay better, and the longer you mint, the more you make. And staking is just a cherry on top. You should just be happy that you're early, and then you can lock in 17%. I would definitely lock in 17% for 1,000 days, because in 1,000 days, that 17% is going to be like 4%. So I want that 17%. And since I would have paid, let's say, $2 or $3 to get into this like long time period to mint it, I can wait a little bit longer, and I'll have my Zen work for me just by being staked. And it also will help the supply. So the supply will be reduced. So first it gets minted, and then it gets staked and burned. So the coin market cap or CoinGecko, those guys will be reporting lower liquid supply, which would have the amplification for the people who are watching market caps, for example. And so if there's a giant portion of Zen gets burned, then technically it should create the price pressure and increase value of the token.
So when you say several wallets, how many wallets are we talking?
That really depends on the gas and my index finger. If it gets tired, let's just say that I am more excited about people using it than me pressing a button.
Sure.
So,
Sure, it's validation for your creation. I could totally
absolutely.
see that.
I mean, like, listen, me launching a contract and then using it all for myself, like forever and ever, that is not the ethos that I wanted to convey to the community.
Sure.
I will be much happier if I get 1 million users or 5 million users the first year, or even 5 million wallets. So if we can get to that number, then it's going to be incredible. And that is the validation for me, not how much Zen I make by myself without anybody else out there giving its value.
Sure.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you being open about your plan. And
yeah, it's going to be more than one wallet, just because I want to try. I want to do an early Zen creation, just like KG you mentioned, and I want to do a late one too. So 100 days and then 285 days whenever it becomes available. But I'll have to wait for 5,000 wallets to be connected. I don't care about the vanity C ranks at all. I mean, maybe I'll get one just to see if I can actually make it within the 5,000. It's not going to be first 100. I'm just going to, when I see it's approaching 5,000, if it doesn't happen like within 5 minutes, then maybe I'll just click one button and get it. but it's going to be one transaction. It's not going to be like 10 or anything like that.
I
I
will
just
be
want to see if I
watching.
can make it.
I will be watching live. I have a trigger finger, so I'm gunning for number one. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get it, and when I do, I'll make sure to let everybody know that I was the quickest on the draw. I'll be sure of that. I'll create the NFT and I'll sell it to everybody for at least 100 million Zen. So
At least. At least.
man, these comments are stacking up. Okay, Kaizoku, thank you. Oh, just quick question here. If 5,000 people mint at the same time, will there be a lag on the site?
Not on the website. The website is basic. It's just a bunch of JavaScript forms and just some basic HTML. But there may be a lag on Ethereum network because, again, 15 transactions per second. You can't go above that. You just can't. And so 5,000 divided by 15, that's your seconds, assuming there's no other transactions even present, which is not true.
They may actually be bullish if you clog the network. That could be bullish. What is a Zen token? Hey, go check it out.
I'd like to see it. Hey, like 3 or 4 years ago, I was playing with CryptoKitties, and I had to buy a kitty paying $300 in gas for the transaction.
Oof.
And I'm like, what is going on with the kitties? And then I read the news, and the news say CryptoKitties crashing Ethereum.
Wow.
Yeah, that was the day. I mean, you can see it on the difficulty, or rather the gas price chart, like back like 17 or 16, I forget when it was. So, but CryptoKitties became the most popular game on Ethereum, and over 60% of all transactions were CryptoKitties.
Wow.
People were buying kitties and breeding them and trading them. It was kind of like an early Axie Infinity.
Sure.
So Axie Infinity got smarter. They created sidechain, so everything could run much faster. But back then, CryptoKitties was like the first NFT, the first interactive NFT where you can take two kitties and invite them to, I guess, make babies, make new kitties. And then they will borrow the traits from one kitty and then mix it with the other, and you can come up with something unique that is really expensive on their marketplace. And so people were going wild. And that crashed Ethereum. So that's a testament to how early we still are in this technology. So
virtual kitty breeding is destroying the world's network. So,
yep.
Hello, KG and Jack. Thanks for everything. So almost considering waiting until Sunday. Your prerogative. What's good, KG and Jack? How long until IAM wallet supports Zen Mint within the wallet? Something we're talking about and thinking about. So not off the table. We appreciate Jack and support what he's doing. So I wonder if there will be a point where it's cheaper to buy the amount of Zen off of DEX rather than have gas fees from multiple wallets. That is a possibility.
So I would say it's really not an obvious question to answer, but if the gas prices are really cheap, I would say definitely mint. If the gas prices are skyrocketing, then you may actually end up getting cheaper Zen from a seller on Uniswap. But then there's no guarantee that within next half an hour the gas prices drop and you could have spent your money on gas and actually would end up minting more Zen. But here's the thing to remember. Let's say that we have 1,000 people doing 10 days, and in 10 days they exit. So they mint their Zen and they exit, and they put it all in Uniswap, all of them. So 1,000 people put 10 days each worth of mint on Uniswap. How many days are now for sale on Uniswap? It's actually 10,000 days. Can you wait 10,000 days for Zen? It's going to be a very long time, but you can buy it that much time on Uniswap instantly. So why wouldn't you do that? You could totally do that, and you don't have to virtually mine Zen for yourself because you could just buy it. And so you can buy time value en masse when you participate in Uniswap trading.
And when things are convenient in life, they usually have a premium. So not saying they will for sure, but highly possible. And I'm trying to catch up on all the comments. This is awesome. We have so many comments. If I see super chats, I'll get to those first. Thank you, everybody, for your comments. If you would like to join the stream, feel free to shoot me a DM on Twitter, brother KDG. Link is in the description. You're welcome to jump on stream. Jack, we're coming up on an hour. If you still have more time, I'm happy to keep this going.
I have maybe like 15 more minutes, perhaps.
Okay.
Should we look at the Google Analytics just to see how many people are?
Let's do it. Here we go.
All right, 300 people, and we're not even live yet. So how cool is that?
So tell us what this means. What are we looking at?
We're looking at the worldwide map. And in this map, we're seeing that there's people coming into the site. And then down below, you actually see that people are accessing the dashboard. They're accessing the mint function and the stake function. So in the last half an hour, 129 people clicked on mint and about 29 people clicked on stake. It's down below. And then there's page views. So there have been so many page views by events. And what's really interesting is that we have people in South America and in Africa.
Wow.
Playing with Xen. I'm going to switch my microphone real quick. So just give me a sec.
Sure. That's really cool. You're already seeing the diversity in terms of geographic location where people are interacting with this contract. And that's exactly what he's trying to achieve, is a global currency. And here it is right before your eyes, people around the globe interacting with this currency.
Yeah, so exciting. This microphone is more noise rejecting, so I think the family just came back and they're making dinner. So
Nice.
So I switched from a condenser mic on top of my head to a dynamic one. But anyway, so that's the map, and believe it or not, a week ago this was 10 users.
Wow.
10 users. And today we hit 600.
Wow.
600 concurrent users. So there's so many users coming in. It's insane. And I think the overall visitors to the site was close to 30,000, according to the analytics, basically. And that's just in the last week. And it's only testnet. So.
And testnet is, a lot of people that play with testnet are people who are already deeper into the crypto space. So I hypothesize that we'll probably see this number grow exponentially with the mainnet uptick. A lot of people don't really interact with testnet.
Yeah, testnet is just a little bit more complicated. I mean, just getting testnet Ether is not the simplest of things to do. But the cool thing is that we have it on Pulse Chain testnet. And what's even cooler is that you can mint your Xen on Pulse Chain, then you can go to PulseX and swap your Xen for Pulse. So there's actually a liquidity pool that somebody created on PulseX, and you can swap Pulse for Xen.
That's cool. That's cool. Yep. What's the I'm curious. Let me see real quick. Let's see what I want to see what the price of Xen is on testnet, just for giggles. Just for giggles. Let's see what we got here.
Check it out. But I think I sold 30,000 Xen for like $1 million USDC. So there was an abundance of USDC, not enough Xen, and so somebody made a pool that made Xen very expensive.
Well, let me see here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and just pull your screen down for a moment.
Sure.
We've got 6 cent 69. You couldn't ask for a better number. 6 cent Xen on Pulse.
This is beautiful. What's the liquidity?
296K. 275K volume. Volume 7-day 1.42 million and 42K. 42 is a powerful number, Jack. In my life, 42 is a number of confirmation, and you have it twice right here.
For me, it's 69.
Okay, well, there you go. You got 69 right there. This is happening. And look, you've even got you've got 9 pools here as well. You got 9 different liquidity pools. The strongest actually being Hex and Xen. second being Pulse and Zen. Interesting. Another
Very
42. Look at that. Oh, very
Very
cool.
interesting. And so I would say half of Zen made on Pulse chain is actually staked. So this is the other half that people are trading.
Do you have metrics where you can see that? Can you see like total Zen in existence versus total Zen staked or anything like that?
Yeah. If you go to Zen.network, you should see a dashboard there. And then click on mint maybe. Actually.
Stake?
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Click
everything's
on.
counting down.
I'm trying to remember when that is or where that is. I don't remember. Wait. Oh, testnet.zen.network. This is when it's going to launch on the mainnet. But the first word is testnet.zen.network. I'm like, why am I
Here we
speaking out?
go. Whoa. Time out. Okay.
What's
All
happening?
right. No, I was like, let's not open the MetaMask here on stream. Cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you should refresh this and the dashboard should load. It still wants you to connect to the testnet, Gurley testnet. I mean, you can look at Pulse, so you can switch the Gurley on top right there, change it to Pulse, just to see what's happening on Pulse.
Let me see one. Let me stop sharing just for 1 second. I don't know what's going to pop up here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, usually you pull the dashboard when because it gathers from your address to see if it's like have anything minting or anything staked. So that's why it's asking.
Let me see. I actually downloaded a new instance of MetaMask, so I'm gonna have to create a dummy. I'm creating a dummy seed right here. I don't need to watch your video, MetaMask. Remind me later. Okay, we are in. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do.
Yeah, you can go to Gurley. So there's a Gurley testnet available without, you don't need to change anything or add anything to anything.
All right, I'm good to come back. Oh, here we are. Okay, so Gurley, I'm going to go to MetaMask and I'm going to, there it is.
So switch to Gurley. So now it's querying the state. All right. So the total supply is 224 million Zen has been created. 87 million Zen has been staked. And 136 Zen is liquid supply. It's been 25 days for this testnet.
So this liquid supply is total minus total supply minus total staked equals liquid supply.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the global rank is how many addresses or wallets have connected to Zen protocol. So 18,000 wallets have been used.
Wow. Active minters. What does this mean?
That means actively minting wallets.
So then how's there a 3,000 deficit?
Because some of them exited the mint. So they're not active anymore. They became stakers or they went away or they did something else.
Gotcha. So they could have minted for 1 day, basically.
They could have, yeah. Yeah, okay. They could have. And so, but 15,000 is minting for a longer time, which is awesome. I mean, think about it. That's in total 18,000 actions for 25 days. So if we divide the two, it's going to be what, like 700, 800 actions per day. And when I say actions, it's the unique wallets. So all we need to do is divide 18,000 by 25.
And to see how many actions per day?
How many wallets per day have interacted with the Zen protocol on testnet? That is how you do it. So you just take 18,000 divided by 25.
Oh. No, come here. 18,381 divided by 25.
Yeah, I was pretty close. 700 to 800, right? So that's 735 addresses or wallets that have interacted with the Zen protocol per day. So starting 25 days ago, on average, a little bit more than 700 wallets have been doing things.
And I constantly hear questions, concerns, comments about the bots that could participate, it would make sense that if a bot was going to participate, they would test the bot on testnet. So I wonder if this is representative of bot play as well. And if it is, that's maybe could stifle some concerns of, hey, a bot coming in and making 1 million wallets, right?
Yeah. Though, again, a bot can do whatever they want, but they still need to pay gas,
Of
no
course.
matter what. So it's really interesting from the financial monetary perspective. The price of gas, the higher it is, the harder it is to mint Xen, and therefore it's valued more. So
I see.
I mean, like, think about it. It's part of the difficulty. Like, if the gas price is all of a sudden $70 per mint, what will it do for the Xen that you're minting? It should be worth at least $70. And then you multiply it by a factor of the network growing and apply the Metcalfe law, which roughly states that the square of all the users of the network is the value of the network. Then you can roughly say the multiplier is 7 to 10, which is roughly equal to a PE ratio of any stock of a company out there. So I would say the gas, like, imagine gas spent per day or gas spent per year. That's kind of like a market cap, almost, because you paid gas up front to get something in the future. But then the future value can actually be higher, and the multiplier could be 10x, could be 15x, could be 20x, based on the number of new people coming in to play with Xen. Like, if 1 million people coming in every month or whatever, right? Like, choose any time frame, then the gas spend probably should be multiplied because there's an increase of new users.
So I see what you're saying. So if it costs you gas to mint and gas, here's a question. Well, I'll get back to that question. So if it costs you X amount of dollars to do something, it's going to give the thing that you paid X amount of dollars to do intrinsic value because it cost you X amount of dollars to do it. So
yeah, I mean, think about it in CryptoKitties terms. So I paid $300 for my kitty, just for gas, and it was like $200 just for the kitty itself. So gas was $300, kitty was $200. I'm out of $500. What am I supposed to do with it? Like, eventually, if I want to trade it back for money 6 months from now, I want my money back, at least $500. So I would be maybe selling it for 600. Depends on the scarcity and the network growth and the engagement and the news, whatever, right? The point is, that's how NFTs generally work. But if here we're talking about gas, the more gas you spend, the more it gets translated into the value of Xen. So it's literally linked to gas price.
sure. All right. And you can almost even do like a base calculation. If it costs you theoretically $10 to mint 1 million, you could do, what would that be? 1 million divided by $10? 10?
Yeah,
No,
but you need to multiply it by a factor of a network growth and square it.
What's that calculation? I don't know that. I don't know that calculation.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's do 100 days as an example.
Okay.
Let's say that you have spent $10 to claim your Xen for 100 days. So technically, the Xen that you're getting is worth $10 to you.
Sure.
Now, let's say that the network is growing by 1 million every month. So in 3 months, which is 90 days, but we're doing 100, we're going to grow by, let's say, 300, 400, 500%. So that's a multiplier over 50 from when you were started. Like, let's say you started between, just under 1 million and it grew to 5. So it's let's call it 5. So the network has increased 5 times. Now we know that the value of the network is a square. So 5 squared is 25. You have spent $10. You need to multiply it by 25, and that's the cost of Xen at the end of the minting period. So you would go from $10 to $250, assuming the network grew 5x. But it could grow 50x. then it's even more intense. I mean, there's many factors at play, and this is a very simplistic calculation. But the idea is this, is that as the network grows, you need to apply a square, or basically uh, do a calculation to advance it to the power of 2. If the network size is 5x, 10x, 50x, and the money you spend on gas plus the waiting time, and that's the time period for the network to grow, then roughly it has to be your value multiplied by the total increase of the network in size by a factor squared. And that will be roughly the cost. So I would say $10 becomes $250. So at least 25x in that particular case. It could be less, it could be more.
And you're saying 25x in terms of the network grows to such a degree that the person who's going to start their mint at that time would pay 25x in gas? Or you're saying it costs you 25x in gas to perform the transaction to mint the mint you started?
What happens is this. Let's say that the gas price does not even change.
Mm-hmm.
So a new person coming in 100 days later has to wait at least 100 days extra to get the same amount of Xen. And they will not get the same amount of Xen because they're coming in late. So
Right.
the amplifiers are now lower. So they have to wait maybe 150 days, like roughly. So they have to wait 150% that you have waited. So the gas may be the same. It doesn't matter. But the point is that you're holding Xen that is more valuable to the person if they want to acquire it immediately, multiplied by the growth of the network. If the network is growing and it's increasing, it's like 2x, 3x, 5x. It may not be the case, but if it is the case, then the network value actually is squared. But there's many other different examples or elements and factors that can affect that, specifically liquidity. How many people are staking? What if Chipotle accepts Zen as currency? That plays with that number too, right? So here I'm simply talking about the network effect of the community. The bigger the community, the more we have of the value. But actually, it's not just the size of the community, but the growth of the community each month. That is what matters. And thankfully, we should be able to plot that in a graph by looking at the global rank. So we can see 30 days to 30 days to 30 days what is the multiplier of the growth of the network. If it's exponential, if it's a hockey stick, then of course what's happening is that the value is increasing too.
Okay. I think I follow. And I mean, yes, with anything, as the network gets more users, it gets more users exponentially, and theoretically, more users exponentially is positive for intrinsic value.
Absolutely. And don't forget that little fact that should we be at 50 million users, which I'm not saying that we will be, but if we're anywhere close to 10, 20, 30 million, any company out there that wants to accept new crypto for payments or any sort of services, even gaming, like play to earn gaming, like for example, Fortnite. So would they be looking at Shiba that has 1 million users, Doge that has 5, or would they be looking at something that has 50 million users? Obviously, they will be looking for the largest marketing opportunities, some crypto that is held by the majority of people. Now, we're aiming to obviously have the lowest barrier to entry crypto, trying to attract the 96% of the world's population that haven't even touched crypto before. So that's where we're going. Like, we're not really interested in working within the scope of 3.5% to 4% of the world that's participating in crypto now, but we're really looking towards the 96. And
Sure.
so I think if the barrier to entry is really that low as we see it right now, then likely it might become one of the most popular cryptos out there, just because, well, it doesn't cost anything. But eventually we run out of the minting capacity on a daily basis, just by the difficulty formula. So it becomes extremely disinflationary, where the inflation rate just drops rapidly, and that will actually push the pressure for the value of that currency, assuming it has the community that's growing. If it's not growing, then it doesn't matter. But if it does, then the value will come as a secondary uh, element. And the primary element for us and for me personally is to grow it to as large as possible,
Sure.
to become as large as possible within hopefully top 10, top 5 on
And
coin market cap, at least.
at least
At least.
he's going for number one. He wants to dethrone Bitcoin, world's largest market cap, Xen Crypto.
Well, I think we can be friendlier than Bitcoin.
Sure.
I mean, like, think about it. You have to buy a fraction of a Bitcoin and call it a day. Here, you can make one for yourself. Still,
Sure.
can you be a Bitcoin miner? No. Can you be Ethereum miner? No. You can't even be a Dogecoin miner, but you can be a virtual miner on a Zen network or Zen,
Sure.
become part of the Zen community.
Sure.
So that is where I think, and I always like to say it, this time we can all be Satoshi. So why not? Why can't we all be Satoshi? We all start at the same level. Nothing exists. It's at zero, and there's no supply. It's exact same conditions prior to Bitcoin.
And everybody here who's watching right now in this moment has the same opportunity as everybody else, which I think is very cool. And one part of your ethos that I really do appreciate. And you said 15 minutes. Do you have more time? If you don't, I'm happy to let you go. Well, I'm not happy to, but I will let you go.
I probably should go soon. Maybe I'll take like one more question or anything you want to talk about for like 5 more minutes.
Okay. I'm going to answer this one real quick. Do we know the Zen contract address for ETH yet? No, we do not. If you see it out there, it's a scam. Go to zen.network. The timer is on the site.
Yeah, I will guarantee you guys that there will be no Zen web API working or Zen contract published until 10:15 a.m. tomorrow. And only after that time, which is Pacific daytime, only then there will be anything. And it will be announced on our Twitter, our Telegram group, and on our website, which is zen.network. You may be getting DMs saying, "Here, Zen has launched. Go there." That's a scam. Just wait for the official announcement.
Absolutely. And again, I will be streaming live tomorrow during the launch. So you can find the official contract here because I'll pull it directly from the site. And somebody said something I thought was pretty interesting. Blue Bomb. Zen will make a great privacy coin if we have a mixer like Zenado.
Zenado.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I don't know. I don't want to go to jail.
Well, you just don't launch it.
Yeah, I'll have somebody else launched.
Yeah, we won't tell anybody.
Well, hey, if somebody does do it, I will not have the same admin keys like USDC does.
Perfect.
So I will not be able to stop it from being self-custodial crypto the way it's supposed to be.
Sure. Beautiful. Well, I didn't even mean to click that one, but there we go.
Let's do it together. We can take this crypto, give it a collective birth, and unleash it into the world.
Beautiful. Well, Jack, I don't see any more questions coming through. Thank you, Jack Levin. Do you have any parting words, final thoughts, anything you want to impart? We have 125 people in here.
Awesome. I would say tomorrow, don't rush. We have a whole weekend ahead, at least in the United States. Plenty of time to get into Zen and really spend time understanding what you're getting into. There's so many videos out there that people have made. Zenducation 1, Zenducation 2. There is a pre-launch Zenducation just came out. You can watch all of those videos. They're linked off my link tree, jacklevin.com. Zencrypto.io is a great resource. Our Telegram group is a great resource. It will immediately send you on the right way into Zenpedia, where you can learn how to use your MetaMask, how to start your mint, when you can stake, for how long, and all of those things. So this crypto is anti-FOMO. There's no FOMO here. We have 8 years to mint as much Zen as we can possibly can. And we can do it together. We don't have to do it all in one day.
Perfect. Beautiful words. Anything else? Anything else you want to share?
That's it. Just excited for tomorrow. So can't wait.
Man, thank you for that. Thank you for the final words. And again, I truly appreciate you jumping on. I know your family's eating dinner. Appreciate you taking time away from that, from them. Tell them thank you from all of us. Also, thank you for spending the time on the night before the big day to share your knowledge, to share your game plan, to answer all the questions. It's incredible to see you do that. You're an awesome face and founder. Appreciate knowing you and appreciate all your time, Jack. Truly.
Thanks for the kind words, and it's always a pleasure to stream with you guys. And I mean, until I got to Twitter and I met all of you, I didn't even know how to use YouTube. And now I have a microphone. How cool is that?
He starts all these tech companies in Silicon Valley, but doesn't know how to use YouTube. You know, dichotomy.
I mean, I know how to watch it, just not broadcast in any way. Like this is like, you know, this year I learned quite a few new things, so I'm very thankful.
Sure, and we're thankful to have you in the community. And hey, if you're around tomorrow and you want to jump on the stream, let me know. You're of course welcome to.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, man. No pressure. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye. Wow. What an amazing stream. Again, we hit an all-time high on this stream. And I'm appreciative and I'm thankful to Jack. I'm thankful to everybody who's tuned in right now. Absolutely incredible. It's validating and heartwarming to see so much support on the channel and so much support for a fellow builder. Jack is an incredible human being. I really like Xen as a protocol because of the fair launch for everybody. No one has any special privileges. No one has any special insight. Everybody has the same opportunity with the countdown timer on Xen.network. The ethos of Xen, the philosophy of Xen, the approachability and simplicity of Xen is there. Jack is an incredibly insightful individual, and I enjoy talking with him. I wish we could have gone a little further down the quantum path, but I didn't want to go too far down the rabbit hole because once you're in, it's hard to come out. Just ask Alice. They made several movies about her. They're still trying to find where she went. For everybody still watching, please please subscribe. If you have any further questions, I have the Xen Twitter. I have Jack's Twitter in the description, which will link you out to everywhere else you need to go. Like always, we're going to end the stream with a 2-minute song, the Internet Money Anthem. It's got philosophy. It's got vibes. It's created by our friend Base God. Again, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, peace.
What is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is more than just money. Cryptocurrency is a lifestyle, a philosophy, an ecosystem, the means by which human beings to attain financial freedom, not just in the sense of multiplying their investment, but giving humans the ability to interact with money in any way that they see fit. And if that way doesn't already exist, that's the beauty of crypto, is you can create it. And that's what we've done here. Internet money is the future. Internet money is the future. What is internet money, you ask? Well, it's just that.